All right, guys. Everyone in the chat, shut up. I'm actually excited about this. What? I had to turn off the WNBA game. It's some of the worst basketball I've ever seen. Oh, it's a bad game going on right now. I wasn't watching. All right, let's see. Stefon Castle. This is what I care about. And honestly, since it's only 6 minutes, I'm going to do normal speed. I know this is a special occasion, okay? I really like Stefon Castle. He might be my third favorite player on the team right now. It's Wemby, Sohan, and Castle. Honestly, truly, not lying to you.
But how does this differ from what you went through at Connecticut?
How's it? Well, I mean, it's a longer season, so I mean,
someone told me that they fixed the mics. Of course, they fixed the mic. They're not even in the same room. They're not in the press conference room. They're right next to them. Of course, we can hear what they have to say. God, I'm sorry for yelling at you, chat.
it's not as much live. Well, I mean, it's the first day, so I mean, I don't really know too much yet. But I mean, college, I feel like it's just a lot more reps against playing against each other. I mean, of course, it's like a 40-game season, so I mean, in the league now it's double that, so you gotta really reserve your body. So I mean, I feel like that's the biggest difference.
It was the first training camp practice of your NBA career.
Thanks for the super chat, Kang. He says, "Hey Clan, do you think Stefon Castle has all-star, all-NBA potential, and do you think the Spurs can make the playoffs? Love your content, by the way." My friend, I'm going to tell you this right off the bat, okay? First and foremost, yes, most definitely Stefon Castle has all-star, all-NBA potential. I won't say that he is going to do that anytime soon, right? I think it's going to take some time, obviously. But when you're playing with Wembanyama, once the Spurs start winning, it's going to be a few players that get all-NBA or all-star selections, right? Or at least be in the all-star conversation. Sohan will be there, Vassell will be there, Castle will be there. It's going to be talked about. Once they're winning, that always happens, that you bring guys along with you. Now, as far as the Spurs making the playoffs, I don't know, but I am at the point where I think that we're going to be a 500 team, right? And take that how you will. If that's a play-in team and then you make it into the playoffs, sure. But I definitely think we have the capability. The only thing that's going to hold us back is that I don't think Chris Paul is going to be with the team. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think he's going to be traded by the trade deadline. And at that point, it might be pretty difficult for us to win, in the playoffs or win to get into the playoffs. But yeah, happy October, Clan. Actually, yeah, I was going to say, I got pulled over by 3 cops for going 5 over the speed limit. I had to pay $200. But technically, that was in September. So yeah, happy October thus far.
That hit you, and how did you respond to that?
I mean, I don't really look at it like that. I mean, we've been in the gym together for like almost 2 months now, so I mean, it wasn't really a true first day, but I mean, yeah, it's great to talk about to say that it's my first official practice. So I mean, it's gonna be something to look back on for sure.
Was this the first one with Pop leading it though?
Yeah. All
right.
Yeah,
so it's your first day to be coached by Pop, I guess.
Yeah, that was a lot different. Yeah. Just being on the court with the guys felt pretty normal.
So that's the first is the first practice then, right? He's like, it doesn't count as the first practice. Kinda. You getting coached by Pop. Do you think CP3 can get an all-star spot this season? Gosh, it would take a lot of assists, which he might get, but probably not.
Begin with defensive slides?
No, it didn't begin with defensive slides. No.
It always used to.
Yeah, not today.
As a veteran, do you have a veteran yet? A guy who's mentoring you, who's kind of taking you under his wing?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't just limit it to one. I feel like I've been taking pieces by really everybody. I mean, even the guys that haven't been in the league too much longer than I have. But I mean, just really trying to learn as much as I can while I'm here. So.
Stefon, how obviously like Dev has been having to ramp up after his surgery. How have you been sort of sliding into team drills, whether that's before training camp started or today?
I mean, just using my versatility. I feel like I can play with any 4 players on the court, just trying to fit in that way.
This right here is the reason why when someone earlier asked, who's going to start for Devin Vassell, I personally would go ahead and put Castle as I'm sorry, my boy. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on, we gotta go back a little bit. I don't mean to leave you on that. There you go. There we go. You look better now. But yeah, our boy, this is why I think that he would start for Devin, because even in college, he's shown he can fit just about anywhere. He can fit 1 through 3. Before we were getting Harrison Barnes, I mean, we were kind of talking about him running the 3, right? Like he can come in at 2 easily for Devin Vassell. I guess the question would be, will he be able to be consistently hitting 3s? But honestly, the only player I can think of right now that could go into that 2 spot and consistently hit 3s for us is Malachi Branham, and I don't want Malachi Branham starting. I just don't. I don't. I would much rather a stronger defender be at that 2 spot starting than Malachi.
That way, kind of bring my defensive presence to kind of gain respect from my peers and my teammates. So, I mean, once I kind of initiated that and set the tone with that, I feel like they kind of, bought into just accepting me, really.
Would you consider that to be maybe your biggest strength, the versatility of your game?
I think Chris Paul stays if we have a winning record going into the deadline. Okay. I mean, it's not a guarantee that he gets traded, right? It's not a guarantee that he gets traded. And you're maybe you are right, because my whole thing is the reason why I initially thought that was because I thought we would have a pretty boring, not that great record, right? Run of the mill, not going to do anything this season record. But maybe you're right. If we have a winning record and we look pretty impressive and he's doing his thing, it might be pretty hard for him just to walk away, right? Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I'd say so. Being able to be flexible, play on the ball and off the ball. I mean, guard multiple positions. So, I mean, I feel like it's a great skill to have, and I feel like that's probably my best one.
I talked to Chris yesterday. He said you guys hadn't had a whole lot of time to play together. So I'm just curious your first impressions on him in that practice setting.
I mean, we played a little bit together during the open run, so I mean, it wasn't my first time playing with him, but I mean, just the way he sees the game is so much different from. Not I wouldn't say a regular basketball player, but I mean just a high-level NBA guy. I mean, he sees the game so much different. So just being able to pick up on stuff that he does on the court, even when he's not just telling it to me, me just seeing it, it's kind of helping me kind of improve my game as well.
Keep in mind that SGA is another player that's very similar to Stephon Castle that benefited a lot from having Chris Paul. That's Castle's ceiling right there. Castle's ceiling is SGA. Real talk.
These first 3 months that you've been here with the team, with the organization,
I'm worried about Castle and Sohan playing together because they are below average 3-point shooters. Hey man, lean on what you do well, and we play really great defense. We don't have any great 3-point shooters right now. Like, you have Harrison Barnes, you have Malachi Branham. That's kind of it. I mean, we're hoping that Zach Collins becomes a better 3-point shooter, which that's all he's been working on over the offseason, so he should. We don't really have. You got to lean on your strengths here, and our strength is defense, so I'm totally content. And also, Castle is a very underrated shooter, so keep that in mind as well. During the offseason, when he played for UConn, the way that he was utilized, he wasn't necessarily a guy that was shoot first. He was also always trying to get players involved or other teammates involved. But if you watch his footage, even from high school, he can shoot the ball very well. And not only has Harrison Ingram, who was it? It was Harrison Ingram and Sidi Sissoko, I believe those two, talked about this during the summer league where they were getting interviewed, and they said, hey, he's actually a better shooter than a lot of people think. Like, we play with him in scrimmage, he can shoot the ball. Like, you think that you can leave him open, but you genuinely can't. So yeah, Castle's a better shooter than you think. And then let's just hope Sohan improves. But even Sohan early on last season, it wasn't until the last 2 months where he started to fall from heaven when it comes to his 3-point shooting. But he was a really good 3-point shooter up to the last 2 months. So he will be fine.
How do you think you've already grown as a player from June to now?
Probably just with my maturity.
Does CP3's win total incentive in his contract transfer with him if he's traded? I'm actually not quite sure. I'm not sure about that, Tony. Anybody in the chat want to answer that, please do. Or whenever this video is uploaded, in the comment section, you can let Tony know. I actually don't know that. That's a good question though.
I feel like I I kind of grew into that a little bit in Connecticut when I had to, you know, switch my role a little bit, kind of learn how to play more as a team and, you know, try and help a team win. So trying to bring what I learned in Connecticut to bring it here has kind of helped me buy into everything.
Are you
What
licking your
piece of
chop?
advice has Pop given you that's really stuck with you this preseason?
I mean, even today, he just told me just be myself and I'll be fine. I mean, he knows how hard I work, how hard I play on the court. I mean, he knows my versatility, so I mean, he's just telling me not to change anything, just be myself, and to go out there and be confident.
One of the bigger
But Pop is a dictator that holds everybody back, I guess.
looked around, one of the bigger criticisms of you coming out of college was your shooting. You look pretty confident letting it go at Summer League. How has that developed over the course of the summer?
It wasn't developed. Please say that you've always been a decent shooter. And UConn, you just had to play a little bit different, and you missed some here and there. Just say that.
I mean, I feel like I've just been working on it constantly, just getting a lot of reps in.
No, wrong answer.
You know, just being in here, whether it's by myself or with my teammates or, you know, with one of the video guys, just constantly getting reps in, getting more confident. You know, especially now that, you know, I'm being more off the ball. You know, it's a skill that you got to have in the NBA. So just trying to sharpen up as much of that as I can.
Did you do anything fun from Summer League to now? Any taking a break or anything, or was it all?
Yeah. After Summer League, me and my family went out to Florida for like a week, for like a little bit, and I was right back in the gym.
You got 1 week break?
Yeah, it was like, well, I mean, it wasn't 1 week. It was probably like two and a half, because I had my wrist thing, so that kind of kept me out the gym a little bit. But I mean, other than that, yeah, I've just been working. So.
Have you acclimated to San Antonio well? Like,
Yeah.
Found places to eat?
Yeah, I've been able to get around a little bit, not using the GPS anymore. So, yeah, that's been good. Getting out the hotel, you know, got my own place now, so you know, it's starting to feel a lot more like home.
Some of us still use the GPS.
Are you licking your chops,
I still use my GPS.
envisioning what you could do with Victor on the court?
For sure. I mean, especially defensively, just what I could bring, you know, in the ball screen defense, and then having him behind me protecting the rim. You know, his ability to switch on the guards as well. And then offensively, of course, being off the ball, being able to set him screens or him setting me screens, we playing pick and roll that way. So, I mean, it's plenty of opportunities for us to mesh and, you know, just learn.
God, it just hit me how high of a basketball IQ that starting lineup would be. With Devin Vassell, I mean, Devin Vassell has high basketball IQ as well, but oh my goodness. Oh my God. You'll have Chris Paul, Stephon Castle, Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Sohan, and Wemby. That's going to be some really pretty basketball. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Go together.
How does that affect your mindset on defense, knowing that you've got a guy like that kind of behind you to lock down the rim when you need it?
I feel like it just makes me more aggressive defensively, knowing I can pressure up a little more. You know, not having too much of a penalty if I get beat, knowing I have Vic behind me. So I feel like that just gives me a lot more freedom and confidence on the ball.
You had the lob down with Donovan at UConn. Is it even easier throwing it to Vic?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Vic, he's a little taller, a little longer, a little wider, you know, radius to throw it to. So, and then he also has the ability to pick and pop whenever. So I mean, defense has really got to, you know, make a decision when guarding him.
Have you watched his Olympics? And have you watched his...
That was a wrap. Why was his so short? Are all of those short? The newer ones? Let's see. Yeah, all of them are short. All of them are short. All right, that was cool. Well, that was nice. That was dope, right? I enjoyed that. Yeah, I always love to hear what Stephon Castle has to say because, honestly, I truly do mean this. He's my third favorite player on the team, like easily third. He's top 3 for me, and he hasn't even played a lick of Spurs basketball yet. But big fan of his. That dude is legit. He's going to be really great this season. He could potentially be Rookie of the Year. We'll have to wait and see. But at the end of the day, he fits very well, and he has a lot of patience, high basketball IQ, great defense, can create his own shot, a lot of strength for his size. He's pretty great. I think a lot of fans are going to love him early on, so excited to see what he does for us.